Yo, what's good, boys? So today we're going to be redrafting probably one of the best draft classes in recent history, the 2019 draft class. What you're going to notice in this draft class, a lot of players that were drafted lower are actually, making up in the list because, let's be real here. Drafting a player based off potential and how good they are right now is a very hard thing. Unless you have a top 5 pick, then it's very unlikely you fumble that pick, but it's definitely been done before. My team, the Sixers, have fumbled a lot of draft picks, We won't get into that. We have James Harden now. It's fine. Anyway, we're gonna be redrafting 1 to 14, just a lottery, and yeah. Now the first two picks, the Pelicans and the Grizzlies, obviously Zion and Ja in there. A lot of people definitely, if they make their list, they'll have Ja number one. I'm personally gonna go with Zion number one, simply because it just fit. Obviously, yes, the Pelicans could do with a point guard like Ja, but yeah, like injuries, he's not been really being available, but I think you still have to take Zion. He's like the best player. Obviously, Ja's a bit more skilled, you could say, but Zion is still a reckoning force that you need to draft. And obviously, Ja is my second pick as well. Those are like the two no-brainer ones. Like, I mean, they're both 1A and 1B from that draft class. So 1 and 2, Zion and Ja. Now with the third picks, this was the Knicks. This was the year that they could have had Zion, and like, do you know what I mean? There's a whole conspiracy about the NBA rigged this lottery for to show teams that if you tank, you still won't get a number one pick. Which, and the Lakers got the fourth pick that they could trade for AD. Like, it's a weird situation. But anyway, the third pick for the Knicks is Darius Garland. I think this. You could argue, no, he's not better than Ja, but you could argue this is easily the third best player. This man's offense is just crazy. One of the best playmakers in the whole league. This guy's probably going to average like more than 11 assists in his career. His inside scoring is amazing. His mid-range game, his three-point shooting. He probably one of the most improved players as well. He had kind of a slow start. Was kind of a forgotten name until last year, until he made the All-Star team with Jarrett Allen. Knicks are not hesitating with this pick right here. And with the fourth pick from the Pelicans, they got that from the Lakers trade, which then, a lot of trades did happen in this, draft, but we're just going to keep with the original teams. Not saying any trades happen. But with the fourth pick, this shouldn't surprise you. Tyler Hero, you saw his rookie bubble season. Obviously, won 6th man of the year. His scoring is just elite. Obviously, had a game winner the other night. This guy is such a natural, gifted scorer. Playmaking's getting in better. Obviously, he's kind of just an offensive player. Not kind of a liability on defense. But for the Pelicans, you just drafted Zion and Tyler Hero. Do you know what I mean? You're liking that. Obviously, you've got at the moment, you obviously don't have players like Herb Jones and all these like good defensive players. But with the fourth pick, you got to take Tyler Hero. Obviously, this is a pick based off potential. Don't get me wrong, Tyler Hero is a very good player right now. But I'm very, high on Tyler Hero's potential. This guy could be all NBA player all the time. I'd say white James Harden. Like, he reminds, look at his career compared to James Harden. Very identical. And, obviously, he's going to keep getting better and better. So we'll see. With the fifth pick from the Cavs, they're going to select RJ Barrett, who is in a bit of a shooting slump. Obviously, the Knicks are rolling right now. They're like a 6-game win streak. But RJ Barrett has been catching some strays, but I think he's definitely a top 5 player in this draft class. His IQ is very good. His perimeter defense, great. His inside scoring, athleticism. This guy, was the number 1 ranked prospect out of high school. People are writing him off saying bastard. He's like 22, 23, man. Like, I think RJ Barrett is going to be a great player in this league. Definitely going to be an all-star. We'll probably make an all-NBA team. And for the Cavs, in this moment in time, a great piece to, build off after a season after losing LeBron. With the 6th pick, the Suns select Jordan Poole. Crazy, this guy almost went into the second round. Probably one of the best comeback stories in the NBA. Probably Warriors fans will say he was the worst player in the league. Maybe not, but he was definitely, in his rookie season, definitely one of the worst players in the NBA by far. He was just terrible. His improvement has been absolutely astounding. Wasn't even a candidate for most improved player, which, to be honest, I thought that was his award. Definitely not Ja's. Like, what? How can the number 2 pick be? Anyway, Jordan Poole, you saw what he did in the finals. This guy is literally just a third splash brother. Kind of like, do you know what I mean? When you see his stats without Steph Curry this season, this guy's averaging like 30. Such a gifted offensive player. Obviously, yeah, the first few picks have been shooting guards that are very good at scoring, but, the Suns, next to Devin Booker, obviously a shooting guard. He can play point guard. Devin can play point guard as well. I think that's a very nice backcourt. Obviously, you don't have Chris Paul yet, and it's a very good young duo. Obviously, at the moment, you're going to have to deal with that first season of, possibly second season of him not being great, but Come on, Jordan Poole's that nice. With the 7th pick, the Bulls are going to go with DeAndre Hunter. Very good two-way player. He can be injured quite a lot, but I think he's such a valuable asset for a championship team. Obviously, the Bulls are looking to blow up right now, but DeAndre Hunter is a very good young player who you are wanting right now. He is nearly 25, but definitely a player you want in your team. Also, they select him for the 4th pick. Maybe you think you're hoping he's a lot better than he is right now. Maybe not, the best shooter, health-wise, but I think, all these players, what's good about this draft class, it kind of just happened. Obviously, not really, but these players that are all, I'm talking about right now, still have a lot of time to develop and actually go into their prime. If we're talking like a 2015 redraft, obviously, it's going to be a lot easier, but DeAndre Hunter definitely has potential to be, a sort of Kawhi Leonard type player, but not, your main guy, but a very glue guy, a supportive piece, like a Draymond Green on a sort of team. With the 8th pick, the Hawks had another pick. Anyway, I'm going Keldon Johnson here. He's having a great season this season as well. Rookie season was definitely a bit rough, but he's literally gotten better every single season by like a wide margin. It goes from, young rookie to like, okay, this guy's actually making progress to, wow, this is a future All-Star here to All-Star. And, well, he's 23, 24. This guy's only going to get better. A great scorer, good defender, all right playmaker, IQ definitely up there, I would say, 100%. And Hawks, it's a very good player to, match with Trey. And, a John Collins replacement for the future because, they don't know that yet. With the 9th pick, the Wizards are going to take a slightly older Cameron Johnson. This guy's just one of the best shooters in the league. You saw his good playoff runs these past 2 years. This guy's a very efficient scorer and can, easily go on a hot streak. Very well-rounded player, and, for the Wizards, in 2019, they're kind of trying to win now. It's a good player, due to his age, bring in for a win now situation. Just a good, well-rounded player. With the 10th pick, the Hawks, again, are selecting Kevin Porter Jr., who, again, is just a very good, well-rounded offensive player. He's got that dog in him, you would say. This guy just, he battles against Steph Curry. He just doesn't care. Like, that's a guy you need on your team. Very good offensively. Playmaking's just out of the roof. This guy, can get a 30-point triple-double. I swear he had like a 52-point near triple-double, 2 seasons ago. This guy, slightly inconsistent. I will say that. He's been slightly inconsistent in his career. But, 22 years of age, still very young. Obviously, he had that drama with Cleveland. But this was a guy, before the draft started, I'm going to keep an eye on this guy. He's a very good player. And, he has been solid so far. Still very young. I think Kevin Porter Jr. can be a star in this league. Just got to give it some time. The 11th pick, the Timberwolves are going to select Bol Bol. Like, I hope I'm not the only one that thought this, but when Bol Bol was drafted in the 2nd round, I was like, whoa. Like, everyone was shocked. If you're on Twitter, everyone was shocked. Like, Bol Bol, 2nd round. This guy has probably the biggest potential out of everyone. He's 7'2", long, literally has the handles, can shoot, play make, block shot. Like, literally, he's literally a demigod almost. And he was a 2nd round pick. To be honest, I could probably have put him, 11's probably a bit too low. I can't even lie. Like, if I'm looking over my list, shit, bro, he could be 7th. Like, I think that's kind of too low, but, we'll keep it there for now because he is somewhat of a raw prospect. But Bol Bol definitely going to have a good career, 100%. With the 12th pick, the Hornets again select PJ Washington, which is tough for him. I think he has good upside. He's a 24-year-old player, athletic, can, shoot, play, good defense. But I think he's just in a bad situation. Obviously, if you know, you know. But I think the Hornets, in general, are just a bad franchise and a bad, like, if you're a young player, to be honest, the last place you want to be is the Charlotte Hornets. It's not a good culture, not a good team. Also, they got some good, obviously, LaMelo. I think he'll be very, if they get Wembanyama, I don't know if that'll be a good move for him. I don't think the Hornets, like I said, it's a very good team to go to, but this is where he falls in the redraft. 13th pick, Miami Heat, who got Tyler Hero, are now going to choose Matisse Thybulle, who, to be honest, probably the top 5 defender in the NBA if he plays, regular minutes. He's kind of in and out of our lineup right now, but I think he'd be a perfect player for that Heat culture. I think they definitely get him to improve his shooting because, he can have his nights where he's completely lighting up from free and he plays good defense. Like, his potential, he is kind of on the older side as well. He's definitely, one of the older players of this draft, but if you can get him to, perform offensively, he is a key piece to a championship team. He could be a huge reason you win a championship, which is why I'm glad we haven't traded him. But at the same time, he's quite an inconsistent shooter. But I think he would do well in Miami because, there are other options in Miami at that moment, but we'll see. And for the last pick of the 14th pick, the Celtics are going to choose Kobe White. Once again, just good all-around scorer. For a seventh pick, not had the best career, especially on the Bulls as well, where you'd think he'd have more opportunity to shine, which he has had. He's had some very good games, but once again, inconsistency. But at the same time, 22-year-old shooting guard, slash point guard who can average 15, possibly average 20 if he's got a bigger role. But definitely a solid pick for the Celtics. If he was on the Celtics right now from being drafted there, he would be shining right now. Obviously the Bulls are just bad. Let's be real. So kind of unlucky for him, but a good pick nonetheless. That was it for my quick redraft. Let me know what you think of it and what you would redraft. I'll see you later.